he should never be mentioned among. I think people go Lampard, Gerrard, or Scholes. That isn't how it should be. It's Lampard or Gerrard. I'll have that debate. Scholes is not part of that. He's just not part of that at all. What's happening, everyone, and welcome to 888 Sport. Today's debate could get rather fiery because we're going to find out who is the most overrated Premier League player of all time. It's not going to be easy. There are some big names being mentioned, and I have a fair assumption that we could be winding Flex up in this one. I've got a feeling he's not going to like a few of my suggestions. So I might as well kick it off. This is going to go so unpopular. I'm almost terrified of what the comments are going to say, but I'll start and just follow my heart. I'm going Paul Scholes.
That's
that's a bit of a shaky one.
I'm having no part of that, fam.
I don't get it.
No part of that, blood.
You know what? I don't even need to. I'm not saying anything. When you come up with stupid things like that, I don't need to comment. So Rory, you know what, Rory? Carry on.
For me, it's not about whether Paul Scholes is a good player or not, because of course he is.
Yeah.
It's just I think he is overrated. I think that he should never be mentioned among. I think people go Lampard, Gerrard, or Scholes. That isn't how it should be. It's Lampard or Gerrard. I'll have that debate. Scholes is not part of that. He's just not part of that at all. I don't know what he's meant to be. He's meant to be brilliant at passing. Lampard had more assists than him. He's meant to be a brilliant goal scorer. Lampard had far more goals than him. I just don't quite see how Paul Scholes ends up in this top tier of Premier League midfielders consistently.
Eden Hazard.
Is anyone... What?
Mine is Eden Hazard.
Fair. I don't even disagree. Yeah, so my issue, and it isn't an issue. I concede that Paul Scholes...
It is an issue. It's an agenda. It's stupidity. That's what it is. It is an issue that I want to help you with, but I don't think I can.
I know that he was a brilliant player. I just don't see him as brilliant as everyone else.
Do you know what it is, Rory? You know, like in music, when rappers say like your favorite rapper and all that kind of stuff, you go and ask top man like Zidane and Xavi and Iniesta, Pirlo. They tell you about Paul Scholes. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm talking. If you want to ask 5 all-time world greats, yeah, of who their best central midfielder is, and they all say Paul Scholes, Iniesta, Xavi, Pirlo, Zidane. Oh, they're just all wrong. They're just all wrong.
But by that logic, though, Flex, then why do any of us ever have opinions if we're only going to defer to people who have played the game at a higher level than we ever dreamed of?
An opinion's fine. All right, fine. Opinion's fine. I'm just using that as one of the most, one of the biggest reasons.
On a previous debate we had.
If you really want to actually just do the football thing about what he actually does, how he would be a playmaker. We spoke about playmakers then, yeah, in other shows. He would set the whole tone for the whole game with his passing, dictating passing from the back, the left, the right, zinging diagonals to man's foot where they don't need to move. He would literally dictate the whole tempo of a game. Talking about scoring big goals in big games, he was there. He would done it. He was a different breed of footballer. Different breed. He's not overrated.
He's overrated when he's compared to Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard.
No, he's not.
He is because he isn't.
I agree with that.
He's overrated when he's compared to Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. He is a very good player. There's no doubt that he's a very good player. But it isn't Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes. It's Lampard, Gerrard. Scholes can battle it out with...
chill yourself there, Rory.
Lampard don't even get in there.
Lampard, but it is what it is.
James, who's it between? Lampard, Gerrard. If you're kicking one out, who's it between?
Paul Scholes goes.
Agreed.
No, but you know what? With this is there. There's not actually a lot that I think are overrated because Drogba gets that title sometimes, and I'm like, nah, leave Drogba alone. He was proper. But then people say like, how clinical was he? How many seasons did he get over 20? And he only had this prolific season, and after that, this, that, and the other. The man was unplayable in it, the way I see it. But Eden Hazard is another one where I'm kind of bringing it to the table because Rory annoyed me. But also, like when you think about it, he had amazing ability where he twists up anyone. He was unplayable, very, very dangerous. But when you look at the actual output on season, and I know we get obsessed with numbers, like Hammers has said in a different episode, and it is true. We do that as football, as new age football fans. That does happen a lot. But for how good he actually is, it was like, did he score enough, though? Did he? That's the question I'm actually putting there. I liked him a lot as a player, but did he? So I'm actually going to put Eden Hazard on the table.
time I cause some problems, you know them way there. Trust me, it's the time that I have Arsenal Twitter on strings, fam.
I know you're going to say it. I know you're going to say it.
Geppetto settings. Roy Keane called this guy one of the most overrated footballers, not in the Premier League, but on the planet. You know what I mean? And then the Arsenal fans responded by saying he was better than Keane. And I'm thinking to me, at what? Lying on a stretcher, fam. You know them way there. He's done more for the NHS research team than he's done more than the football team. You know them way there. This guy was on the front cover of FIFA. I couldn't believe it. If you're going to put him on the front cover of any game, it should have been like, you know, that board game, Operation Blood. That's what he should have been on the front cover of. Can you guys name the player that I'm talking about?
Well, the amount of sick note you said, it sounds like Abu Dhabi, but he went on the front of FIFA.
Okay, Rory, your turn. Rory, your turn.
I'm trying to think. The most overrated Arsenal player.
Remember, he's not a good player, but overrated, and they gassed him to the fullest, blood. He was Luke Skywalker. He was their new hope. I don't know how you ain't got
Jack
it.
Wilshere.
Thank you very much. Cotton Wilshere, yeah? Ooh. Jack Wilshere. Most overrated. Roy Keane called him one of the most overrated players on the planet. And that is when he was wearing the armband live on Sky Sports News, fam. And I know it's an Arsenal time. They're going to be like, oh, he's won more than Tottenham. It ain't about that, fam. You know them way there. It ain't about what he's won. Remember, he was on the roster. You know them way there. Brewster won a Champions League medal, fam. He was in the Barbers with that, fam. You know them way there. That's what it is. So overrated footballers, most overrated footballers. Yeah, you man would have think, oh, maybe Ozil. Nah, Ozil was a luxury player. And you know the bits that he actually did for Arsenal. Cotton Wilshere now, I'm telling you, he's done more for the NHS medical research team than he has for the Arsenal team. Come at me, Arsenal.
Bro, just back to the Drogba thing though, yeah? Like, I have seen that a lot, where a lot of fans on social media, whatever, people you talk to, when they speak about the Drogba situation, and I don't agree with it because I think Drogba was unplayable, but they do say like how clinical was he and stuff like that. Maybe he was, in terms of the greats, when you've got your Henrys, your Agueros, your Shearers, and you're on that level, he wasn't really in that. They're trying to say, what are you saying?
I think what it comes down to with Drogba is it's an immediate indicator as to who you're talking to, if they kind of get football or if they don't. Genuinely, I don't even mean that as an insult. I just mean it because I think that the reason that people wouldn't rate Drogba is because maybe they didn't live it, and then they've looked at the number. You know, people who are obsessed with numbers.
Yeah.
And the numbers don't really do Drogba justice.
No, I hear that.
It doesn't tell you enough about the personality.
I don't rate Drogba because I've looked at any numbers. I rate Drogba because of the pain he caused me, blood.
Because you've lived it. That's what Rory means. You've been there.
And not even just against my team, Flex.
Yeah.
You get me? For Chelsea, the important goals in the Champions League for Chelsea, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? There isn't. Like, I would go so far with Drogba. I would never say that Drogba is a better footballer than Thierry Henry. I know.
No, he wasn't.
I know he isn't a better footballer, but what I would say is he's a better big game player. So what we'll have to do now is put it over to the people. I've got a bad feeling about the comments on this one for me. But
don't worry, Rory. I jumped in there with you, lad. I jumped in there with you. So we're going to be getting shit. We'll get it together.
He's saying that just because someone gets a cosign from someone, then it means that don't always mean they're that good. So on that logic, then Paul Scholes was crap.
Lads, that was fun. Thank you so much for everyone watching. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video and give it a like. And we will see you all on the next one.